All right, so for today's notes, we are going to be continuing our algebra unit, and we are going to continue with how to write equations from a word problem. So before we even get started, okay, we want to take a look at some keywords that we're going to need. So for example, when you see a word problem, a lot of times that's a lot of information, okay? So what we want to end up doing is making sure we can break it apart and find what we need to know. In order to do that, we need to know those keywords, okay? So if you want to write this down or refer back to this, you can. For addition, a lot of the words you'll see, total, together, sum, more, combined, altogether. Those are going to be some of your common keywords. For subtraction, you're going to see minus, take away, less than, difference. Those are going to be some of your popular ones. For division, the ones you will see a lot of the times, quotient, each group, shared, divided into. I'm going to add in separate, okay, because a lot of times we use separate, that's going to be division. And then you're also going to have multiplication. Your most common ones you're going to see a lot of the times are going to be each, per, times. Those are going to be, or even your 3 times, 4 times. But a lot of times, like I said, I see the word each a lot and the word per a lot as well. So now what we're going to do is let's start taking a look at some of the word problems. All right, so when you have a word problem, read through it. So it's number 1 says, Lacey wants to collect stamps as a hobby. If Lacey adds 12 stamps to her collection each month, how many months of stamp collecting will it take for Lacey to have 600 stamps in her collection? Okay, so we read it one time. Now what I want to do is I want to go back to the word problem and let's try and figure out what we need. So the first sentence, Lacey wants to collect stamps as a hobby. Okay, that's good to know, but it's not telling me anything about the problem. If Lacey adds 12 stamps to her collection each month, okay, so that's a lot of stuff, but the important part is going to be 12 stamps, and here's that word each. Okay, so think of it each month, per month. So how many months of stamp collecting will it take for her to have 600 stamps? Okay, numbers in this case going to be important as well. So this is really all I need in order to write the equation. Now, looking at our notes here, the picture, what I would like for y'all to do is to make a picture basically about the problem. A lot of times that helps us think, okay, is able to kind of understand the problem. Now, with my computer currently, I cannot draw a picture, okay, so I'm going to leave that to you to hopefully go through and do. Now, let's talk about how to write the equation. So in this problem, I have 3 important things. I have the 12 stamps, the each month, and the 600 stamps. So one of the first things that I look for in order to write my equation is I go through and try and look for what is the total amount? What should this end up equaling to? So in this case, it says we want her to have 600 stamps. So whatever your total number is, that is what's going to go on its own. So equals 600. Then I like to kind of put everything else on the left side. So 12 stamps to her collection each month. So if I go back and look at this here, I'm going to see the word each underneath multiplication. So that's going to tell me that I'm going to have to multiply 12 and the each together. Now, do we know what number each represents? In this case, it's talking about the months, but it's not specific in how many months. So this is where that variable is going to come in. Remember, a variable was your unknown, your letters. So I'm going to show multiplication by using 12. In this case, let's just use x. Okay, so now I have successfully written my equation. Okay, it's equaling to a total amount. I know it's multiplication. This shows multiplication. And I make sure I have my equal sign because that's what makes it an equation. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Miss Smith spent $85.15 on supplies for her classroom. She bought a pencil sharpener for $24.85 and several easel pads. We're not going to solve yet, but write an equation that can be used to find E, the amount Miss Smith spent on her easel pads. Okay, I read through it once. Now let's go back through and find those key things. So we have $85.50 on supplies. She bought a pencil sharpener for $24.85. And let's go ahead and highlight the easel pads as well. So write and solve an equation that can be used to find E. So that gives you your variable there. The amount Miss Smith spent on the easel pads. So once again, you're going to draw a picture on your own. And now let's take a look at writing the equation. So for this one, okay, once again, find your total amount. In this case, the total amount is going to be that $85.15. Now, let's think about it. We know this is for all the supplies together. So I know she also bought the pencil sharpener and the easel pads. So since it's all together, what operation is that going to be? Well, I can go back here and see, together, that's going to be addition. So I know for my equation, I have to add the pencil sharpener and the easel pads together to get this total here. So it says for the pencil sharpener, it was $24.85 plus, okay, now in this word problem here, they give me the variable. The first one, it did not, so I could use any letter to represent the variable. If they give you a specific letter, you are going to want to make sure that you go through and use it. So in this situation, we're using E. And now let me make sure, do I have my total? Yes, I have my variable, and we're adding it together. So this here would be my equation. All right, so now I want you to try these two problems on your own here. So go ahead and pause that video. And when you are ready, you can press play and let's see if your info matches up with mine. All right, so hopefully you paused the video to go through and check everything out. So it says Gabby collects coins for her coin book. Every month, Gabby's grandpa gives her 5 new coins to add to her book. Right? We're not solving yet. An equation that can be used to find M, the number of months when Gabby will have exactly 400 coins in her book. All right. So with this, let's get our important info. So every month, all right, gives her 5 new coins to add to her book. What can be used to find M? number of months when she will have exactly 400. So hopefully you went through and wrote an equation similar to this. Okay, so this was a multiplication problem because it's talking about every month, each month, per month. Okay, she gets 5 new coins. We don't know how many months, so that's going to be M, and she's going to have exactly 400 coins. So this will tell us in the end how many months she spent getting those coins. All right, the next one. Mr. Rodriguez spent $48.09 on supplies for his classroom. He bought a case of colored paper for $39.99 and dry erase markers. What equation can be used to find C, the cost of dry erase markers? So, very important, the amount for his supplies, the colored paper, and the dry erase markers, and then what can be used to find C. So once again, hopefully you wrote something similar to this. Oops, I'm going to do that. All right, so hopefully you have something like 39.99 plus C equals $48.09. Because then if I wanted to go through and solve, I could figure out what the cost was. Now, I didn't mention earlier, but I can. When it comes to your addition problems, okay, I like to typically write the variable first. I didn't on the problem above because I just went with whatever the order it came in, okay? A lot of times you're going to see me write it to where a variable comes first. This is going to make it easier when we go through and start solving equations. All right, so that is how we go through and we write equations. Probably, like I said, the most important thing is being able to identify your keywords. All right, so if you want to pause the video here to write these down, you can. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and post this to Google Classroom as well. All right, so that's the end for writing equations. This is a very important topic that we are going to be covering a lot, and it is important to know. Um, so if we are struggling with this and you are out right now, please make note of this, that you'll need to come to tutoring to get some extra help on this. All right, hopefully this helped y'all out, and I will see y'all later.